Hello everybody. Oh sorry, my phone's going off already. Hello everybody, my name is Sarah Jane Cruickshank and I am here to give you some very basic training today. Now, as you know, we are called back to the fundamentals. So to start off Facebook marketing, we need to sort of build those foundations right from below, which means making sure your Facebook profile and timeline are ready to be used as a Facebook marketing tool. Now, there's lots of things on Facebook, there's lots of settings, there's lots of things that may be a little bit confusing to you, but if these are not in place and they're not correct, it could hinder you in using your Facebook profile as your marketing tool. Now, I'm going to start with something very basic. Now, your photograph on your Facebook timeline. You need to make sure that it is a true representation of you. It needs to be a photograph of you. It can be fun, you know, it doesn't have to be like a serious passport type photograph. But the thing is, when people are going to start looking for you on Facebook, when you're going to start sending friend requests and things like that, the first thing people do is look at your profile picture. And I know people shouldn't judge a book by its cover and they shouldn't judge on, you know, looks and personality or anything like that, but they do. They will look at your photograph and see if you look like a nice person or not. So you need to make sure that the photograph for your profile picture is a good representation of you. Do not put animals, do not put cars, do not put logos. Do not put your children. It's a picture of you. This is so important. And you will start to realise this as we go through the training. Right, the second photograph you need to make sure you've got is what's called a cover photo. Now this here with the trees on that I've got here is a cover photo. Now, we recommend that you put something on here that is eye-catching, that is maybe a representation of you and your life. Do not put company logos on here. You can put a photograph of your family, something that represents you. Now, I've put a picture on because it's turning autumn, so I thought a nice autumnal picture would be a really nice cover photo. I try and keep mine very simple. It's got to be eye-catching, it's got to be nice, it's got to look good on your page. So, if you want to know how to add this cover photo, it's very simple. There's a little camera up here. You click on there and you can upload a photo or you can choose a picture from your photographs that are already in your library on Facebook. But another little tip that I learned is if you can't think of a good cover photo, go to something like Google. I've just found a motivational quote. Right, go to something like Google and type in Facebook cover photos. And it's going to bring up loads of Facebook cover photos. Look at all this lot, right? So if you can't find one of a picture of yourself or something like that, then choose one of these. There's quotes about life, there's music, nature, love. Find one that really represents you and your life and something that means something to you and that would look good on a Facebook page. So all you need to do, say if you wanted to try one of these, let's try the balloons one. Click on the picture. I mean, I'm using a Mac, so yours would be slightly different. I drop it on my desktop, and then when you go back into your, let me just move the screen back over again, back into your Facebook. Let me just get rid of this messenger in the corner. Right, you upload a photograph, you click on upload, you find your picture. There it is. Choose. Oh, is that gonna choose because it might got my screen on it, haven't it? Choose. Confusing because I've got obviously I'm recording the screen. It's not letting me choose it, is it? What's going on here? I'm wondering if it's because I've got my little screen open here to record this. Cancel. Let's try that again, shall we? Upload photo. That one. Choose. Give it a minute. Choose. It's because I'm recording and I've got my photograph, so it was covering up the choose button. So there you go. Look, it's dropped it on my wall, and it asks you to drag to reposition. So you can drag this about, reposition it, and if you like it, then you just click Save Changes and you've got a brand new cover photo. Now, I'm not going to change mine. I'm going to leave mine as it is. But that gives you an idea of cover photos, right? So there you go. You've got your profile picture. You've got a beautiful cover photo, right? The next thing we need to look at is your settings on your page. Right. See this little down arrow here? Click on there. Go to Settings. Okay, right. The first setting you need to make sure you go to is your privacy. See where it says privacy here? Click on there. Now, this is so crucially important, guys. When you're marketing on Facebook, you need to make sure that people are going to see your stuff. So it says here, who can see my stuff? Who can see your future posts? I have got mine set to public. You need to make sure this is not set to just you or family and friends only. You need to have this set at public. To edit it, you click on the edit and it will give you options. See, you do not want it on only you. You do not want it on friends. You want it on public. Okay, and then you just save that setting. Right, the next one, you don't need to worry about any of these. You just want to make sure that everyone can contact you and everyone can look you up. This is all kind of standard stuff if you're marketing. You want people to be able to get hold of you guys. Right, timeline and tagging, guys. Go into this one. Now, I feel it's very important that you control what is being put on your Facebook timeline. Do not have your settings set that anybody can post onto your timeline, because your timeline will become a mess of spam and adverts. So make sure where it says who can post on my timeline, it says only me. Only you should be able to post on your timeline. Right, it's got here, review posts that friends tag you in before they appear on your timeline. Turn that on. Make sure if people are tagging you in posts where they're putting your name against a picture or something like that, that you have got the option of whether or not you let that go onto your timeline or not. Make sure that is on. Right, okay, is there anything else on here that's definitely made sure we need to make sure that you've got set? Who can see posts that you're tagged in? Only me. Yes, make sure that it's only you that can see posts that you're tagged in, and then you can decide whether you want them or not. So everything else is pretty standard stuff. Review tags, make sure you review your tags. When you're tagged in a post, who do you want your audience to see? Your friends, that's pretty standard. Right, okay, that's that bit, tagging and timeline. Right, the next one you need to make sure, where it says language, click on language. You want to make sure that your language is set to English US. This is the most common language on Facebook. You need to make sure that that is English US, because if it's not, it can restrict you from using some of the settings. Okay, and make sure that's on there. Right, so let's go back to my wall. Right, you've also got on the side here, introduction. You can edit this introduction here. It's literally, it only gives you a certain amount of characters to write. Make sure that you've got a short, snappy introduction that doesn't mention company names or anything like that. It just talks about you in a matter of words. So I've got entrepreneur, online marketer, filmmaker, author, cake artist, crazy. I'm not crazy, I'm just creatively insane. So a little intro there, make sure that is on there. Everything else is pretty standard, guys, on there. Right, so that's that. Now, I am going to talk to you, I'm going to briefly talk about posting onto your wall, but we're going to cover that in a further training because that is quite a big training in itself. All I would say is whatever you're posting on your timeline, make sure that it's all full of positivity, fun. So use things like motivational quotes, put private videos on there. This is like a testimony, some comedy on there, some photographs, a bit of a news story. I'm doing the gratitude challenge, so I've posted that on there. Some motivation again, a link to my website. So make sure that you really mix it up what's on your timeline. Make sure that your timeline is a good representation of yourself. Make sure it's a good representation of what you believe in, but do not post political stuff. Do not force your views or your, anything like that onto other people, because there's lots of people out there that won't like it. Keep it very kind of conservative. Don't go off on a tangent. Don't post negativity. Don't whinge, moan and complain on your Facebook timeline. It's there as your shop window. Imagine that timeline is your shop window. People are going to come up to that window and have a look inside. If they like what they see, they will explore it further and maybe reach out to you, connect with you. If they look in that shop window and see you know, some animals being maimed, or they see you having a rant about, you know, the latest price of petrol, or they're going to think, oh God, do I really want this kind of person in my life? The answer is going to be no. You need to have your shop window looking beautifully sparkly. It's got to be positive energy, beautiful photographs, lovely motivational quotes, a little snippet about yourselves. So you can see how important a timeline is, guys. So that's just a quick training today about getting your timeline ready for the trainings that are upcoming. So just an overview, make sure your photos are good, your cover photo is good, make sure your privacy settings are set to public, make sure that your language is set to US English, make sure that you've turned on your what's it called? Your rights to stop tags being posted on your timeline. Okay, so make sure that's all on there. Make sure your Facebook is full of positivity, fun, and represents you. You know, bring your personality into your timeline. Okay, and yeah. Oh, another thing is, right, let me just touch on this very quickly. In the past, I've had people say to me that they do not want their timeline to be covered in business posts, or they don't want their friends and family to see what it is they're doing. So as and when the swipe copy starts and things like that, people are like, I don't want that on my private timeline. Now is the time to make a decision, because you need to post what we tell you to post, or this is not going to work. If you do not want your friends and family seeing what it is you're doing, then this is the stage where we recommend that you set up a brand new Facebook, just for this 30-day coaching and mentoring program, and for you to use for business. Because if you are not prepared to post the swipe copy, the jokes, the motivation, the stuff like that we're going to tell you what to post on your personal walls for your family and friends to see, then, you know, this may not be the way to do it. Don't do it on your personal wall. Set up now a brand new Facebook profile. Start from scratch and use that one. Okay, but we recommend, really, you want to be using your own personal one. It's got your friends and family on it, and if they're, you know, if they love you and trust you and care about you, they're going to support what you're doing. But if you have got an issue with something like that, then this is the time to set up a brand new one. Okay, and if you want to do that, we can help you do that as well. Just reach out to one of us and we can tell you how to do that. It's very, very simple, but really the goal is to use your own one, because it's established. You've got people on it already. You've got friends on there already. You've got content on there already. Okay, so that's the advice today. I hope this helped. I hope you make sure you go and get your settings right, get your foundations in place, and there'll be another training coming up with a little bit more intense stuff. But like we said, we are stripping you back to the basics now. This is back to the fundamentals. So hopefully you can go off now, get your Facebook timelines ready for this, okay? And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.